All right, guys. We are moving forward with solving equations. This is lesson 2.4. Okay, we're now going to work on, the notes will be pretty short today. We're going to work on solving these equations with variables on both sides of the equal sign. So let's look at our first example. Yeah.
You know there's something that people that can remember everything, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, wouldn't they be able to know everything?
Well,
unless they learn it, and then they know. So basically, the more they learn, the more smarter they get. It won't lose. They just keep getting smarter.
Yeah, and I mean they lose some stuff, but a lot of it is like short term. I think with the photographic memory stuff. Is that what you're talking about?
Let's say if I had it, I would remember this for years.
It's not necessarily about understanding things better, but like you would be able to picture like how this problem looks and the way that it was worked, and then as long as you could translate that to your own stuff, then yeah. All right, guys. So we're going to talk about solving equations with variables on both sides of the equal sign. So we're going to go through same basic steps. Okay, you're first going to locate the variable to identify what kind of a problem it is. Now, for today, they're all going to have variables on both sides. Okay, but you won't always know that. So good to start with your first step. First step, locate the variable. Okay. The second step is identify the operations being done to the variable. Okay. Now, before we get to that second step, on these problems, we have to kind of put a little, so like if step one is locate variable, okay, we're going to say step 1A is combine like terms. Okay, and in order to do that, what's up, D? Over here. In order to do that, we have to move all the variables to one side or the other. Okay. Now, my suggestion is to really look at these problems and think ahead. And by thinking ahead, I mean which way could I move the variable that will leave me the least amount of work to do. Okay. If I take -7 right here, okay, if I take that and I move it over here, I'm then kind of creating more work for myself, because then I'm going to have to take the 15 and I'm going to have to move it over there, and then I'm still going to have to solve stuff. But since this -7 is already over here by itself, I want to identify that I can move this -2x over to the other side, and then I can just start solving from there. Yeah.
Couldn't you just move the 2x and add it to the -7x?
Yeah, that's literally what I just said.
Oh.
But yes, that's a great observation, Jeff. Okay, so we're going to take the -2x, okay, and we're going to move it to combine it with the 7x, okay? So how do I move it? How do I undo the operation right there? How am I moving the 2x? Adding 2x to both sides. Okay, so we'll add 2x. Okay, the 2x's on the left will cancel out. I'll bring down the 15. And then I have -7x plus 2x, which will be -5x. Okay, now it's just a one-step problem from here. Okay, so what's my next step? What operation is being done to the variable? It's being multiplied because we don't see anything, right? Okay, it's being multiplied because there's no sign in between. Okay, so the opposite of multiplying by -5 is dividing by negative 5. Will give us x on the right side and negative 3 on the left side. Today, you do not have to check. But do you know how?
Yes.
So use it if you feel like you should. Do what? You are going to.
Yesterday was a full moon, Mr. Bennett. I was in my house.
I'm so tired.
Okay, letter B. This one is all you. Negative 3x equals 2x plus 19.
He said he was gonna buy snacks for both of them. He never said that. He never said that.
No, Kylan said yesterday I was going to buy everybody canes. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Come on, Mr. Bennett.
I don't even have enough money to buy myself canes. Why am I going to buy y'all canes?
At least some drinks, no? They brought Sprite cranberry. That's like. I need one of those. I mean, I take that.
You want some expired coffee?
Yeah, as long as it's coffee. I'll take coffee.
It's like a cafe shop.
I love coffee.
Black, but I want it
No, I heard her.
Are you leaving by yourself?
Yep.
Okay. Jet, no one is talking.
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Sorry, Jet. I bet you shake it, but. Sorry, Jet. I thought I was your favorite.
Wait, no. No more now.
Why Omar?
Because
I'll prove you wrong, Jet.
Yes, I do. No, I don't.
I can't hear you though.
I see the snack catch for those.
So,
Yeah.
what are you doing? I should take those today. Someone's talking to me.
Oh, you put the
What do you think?
Mr. Bennett, can you get the calculator?
Hola, amigos. Hola,
Oh, wait.
Mr. Bennett.
Yeah.
How do you know which variable?
So the way that I look at it is whichever side has the most stuff on it. I need to move away from that.
Okay, so
Negative 5 0 and negative 5 0. Negative 5.
Negative 5 divided by negative 5.
yeah, that's what
Negative 5 divided by 5.
Red plate and then cheesy.
We're gonna get out of our game.
I need help.
It smells good. I thought you said it was expired. Yeah, I have intervention. Why'd you put me in intervention, Mr. Bennett? Actually, you know what? I'm glad I'll be here. Is there like sludge?
I think it's just because it's so hot. Who said anything? Jeff?
Oh, yeah. So I got this. Is that right?
So we're trying to this whole thing. Right? So you have to
I don't know
So you're trying to do it, cancel out. Okay. So it's 2x plus 19. Right? Then once I get the x's together is when I can start trying to.
But like for Thanksgiving, because I'm not trying to risk getting a full haircut.
I'm trying to move it away from that.
Go ahead and invite these guys to the
So, Mr. Bennett, I subtracted from both sides. Oh, my bad.
No, that's right. That's weird that was the problem I gave you. But yes, that's right. Okay, guys, let me go over letter B.
What is it?
Okay. So on letter B, okay, you're identifying where the variable is. It's on both sides. So I'm going to try and move all my variables to one side. I'm going to move away from the side that has more stuff on it, basically. Okay. So I'm going to look at this side because it's got more going on. I see this 2x right here. How do I move 2x over? Yeah, I'm going to move the whole thing. So I've got to have it cancel out over here. So I'm going to move it over. The 2x's cancel out. That gives me negative 5x on the left equals 19 on the right. I'm then going to divide both sides by negative 5. The 5's will cancel out. Just give me x equals, and then I'm okay if you just leave your answer as negative 19 over 5. If you put, I think it would be negative 19 over 5, 3 point, okay, yeah, 3.8. It should be negative 3.8. Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense. It looks like Oklahoma. I just see chairs I had up here.
Mr. Bennett.
Yep.
Well, it never should be fun at all.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, it better be.
Or else what?
We'll get this muffle sandwich.
That's fair.
Okay, go on, Mr. B.
Okay, next section. You can just keep moving down your page. I'm just trying to stay close to everything else. Let's call this. So this is an example, okay, with distributive property. Call it letter C. We're going to have negative 2. And then in parentheses, x minus 5 equals 6. In parentheses, x, let's say, plus 2. Okay, now, your first step needs to be to use distributive property. Once we identify that we have to use a distributive property, we need to do that first. Okay, so go ahead and use distributive property. Then see if you can figure out the rest. We need to move the x's all to one side, constants to the other, and then go from there. Distributive property.
I can never snitch. This is why I need intervention. You put me there for a reason. No, I'll come out smarter, trust me. I'll come out smarter. Why do you do the same thing? You got follow me?
No, I just wish you were working on this problem.
I need help though.
Well, yeah, Omar, I bet can help you. You haven't asked though.
Omar, can you help me?
Distributive property, guys.
Yeah.
Y'all can do that.
Got here. So, you want the X to the side? That way.
Don't have to put your notes over it.
No.
You
No.
your eyes.
I don't even have a
You said it's so loud. No, we
I at
know.
least have 4. It's not a whole paragraph.
I already have it. I'm just gonna look at her. Yeah.
Please make sure we're working.
No, I've had this for 10 minutes.
I don't even remember half of the stuff I wrote.
No. And Zoe's
No offense,
is there any other colors?
I tried to make a habit of not letting 13 and 14-year-olds sing. No, I agree. I appreciate you.
Where is mine?
On paper.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, thank you.
Right there.
I
You don't want
Everybody.
Because you're going to cross this out. Cross this out. And this is the same. Then put. You know what you're doing wrong? I think you should ask. But I don't want you to fail. And it's in my notes. I need you to write
To both of them. So you got to do -2 to the x, -2 to the x. Distributive property. You got to multiply it to both.
It's okay. I know.
Okay, guys, this first step on letter C, distributive property, means that you are taking what's attached to the parentheses and you're multiplying it to each individual term inside the parentheses. Okay? So -2 times x would be -2x. -2 times -5 will be +10 equals, and then you have to do the same thing on the other side. 6 times x equals 6x. 6 times 2 equals +12. If on your study plan on iExcel, there is a section of distributive property, you need to go and practice that, okay? We've done distributive property a lot in here, and we're still not sure what to do as a group, for the most part. We have to make sure we've got that skill down. That if you can get that skill down, it's going to help you immensely, okay? Finish the problem from here. Now, I know this is new, okay? But I'm also not seeing a whole lot of effort, okay? So just because it's new does not mean that you can just wait until I come around and tell you what to do, okay? You got to try it out, okay? So, and some of you have seen, if you try it out, I can very easily show you where you made a mistake, and then you can go from there. That's how you learn. But you're not going to learn by keeping your page blank and then just waiting for me to walk you through step by step. Okay? Now, when I'm looking at this, it doesn't matter which side you move, okay? Because they both have kind of the same amount of stuff, right? Hopefully we would agree. Okay, each side has 2 terms apiece. So, for me personally, I like to move all my variables to the left side. It doesn't matter, okay? But if I'm going to move this 6x over, okay, yes, the 6 and the x are being multiplied together, but that's not what we're worried about. What we're worried about is moving the whole thing over to the other side. It's being added to the 12. So what's the opposite of that? Subtracting 6x from both sides. You got to move the whole thing to combine them. Okay, so the 6x's will cancel out on the right. I can bring down a 12. The negative 2x plus a negative 6x will give me negative 8x, and I bring down the 10. Now it's a 2-step problem that we had last class. So now, what operations are being done to the variable that we're all on one side? Addition and multiplication, yes. So you have to move which one first? Addition, because it's PEMDAS backwards, okay? So from this spot right here, see if you can finish it out. Not understanding what to do is no excuse for not trying.
I got this. Well, I mean, okay, look. 3 minus 4, add that. We gotta find which one we get.
Once you have finished letter C, if you are just waiting, no, you're good. You're good. If you finish letter C, you can start working on letter D right here.
Oh, good work. Can I ask you one question? Which one do I disconnect from the other?
So, you have managed what operations are being done, being added by 10, multiplied by negative 8. So you have to do something else backwards. Subtraction and addition.
No. We gotta use our head. Our head is our calculator. Come on, you're more careful too. So, 12. Maybe subtraction. So be 2. I will see no calculating this.
Go to the one by the gym. Go to the one by the gym.
Since this is negative, do I have to add it?
What do you mean? The 8? What's the 8 doing to the x?
What he said.
There's no sign in between the two. If there's a sign in between the two, then it's addition or subtraction. But since the sign is in front of the 8, then it's just a negative 8. And there's nothing in between the negative 8 and the x, they're being multiplied. So you have to do the opposite of that.
Okay. Wait, is it negative 8x divided by negative 8?
Yep.
So let me gone, bye-bye.
Okay, here's letter C.
That was wrong.
What's that as a decimal? Because I don't find it.
Negative 0.25.
Oh,
Mr. Bennett, what are you doing when you put it like, are you? But when you put it like you had negative 8x or negative 8, so are you like
This part.
Uh-huh.
So I had negative 8x equals 2. So I have to ask myself, what operation's happening right here? I see no sign in between the 8 and the x. So that means they're being multiplied. So I have to do the opposite of that. And the opposite of multiplying by negative 8 is dividing. Then if you have a number on top and that same number on bottom, they cancel out. So that just gives you x on the left and then 2 over 8 on the right.
Did you simplify the two? Wouldn't it be negative? Why the 1?
The negative can be on top or bottom and it doesn't make a difference. Either way. Guys, the placement of the negative on a fraction does not matter. If there is a negative anywhere, then it is a negative and you're good. Okay? Okay. Letter D.
No, wait, don't do it yet. Give me like 5 minutes.
Okay, for letter D, this will be our last one on the notes, and then I would like for you to go ahead and work on your homework. Variables on both sides is what you will be practicing. On CUDA. Should be 2.4. Don't look up on the board. Make sure you've already written down letter D. I'm going to put the solution up here. Don't look up until you're ready.
No, see. Got this.
Yay, that's good.
Can I use a calculator just one time?
Mr. Bennett, I don't think you've taught us this.
You did.
Oh, you're so crazy. Okay, I'll figure it. So basically,
This is these are kind of combining two of the things we've already learned. So what you have to do over here is once you combine,
Oh, wait, no.
then it is.
Hey, stop it on the board. Stop it on the board. Knock it out. Ready?
But then they both went to my house at the same time. I don't even know how they got this. She got a snap in the first place, but then they both went to my house at the same time. And we're just like,
I think you might have flipped your 24 and your 8.
Oh, I used to.
Say that one more time.
You good?
I got it wrong.
So, you cross out the sixes because they cancel out. But what happens to the X? It goes away?
The X, no, you're moving the X also. So I'm moving the whole term, negative 6x. I'm moving the whole thing to the other side.
Okay, I got it.
You see, I got it half right. I'll count it off.
From Miss Lee?
I wish I dropped that. Yeah, I can have it if you want. I don't want it, but I can have it. Only if you want. I can do the favorite. Only if you want to, you know. But it's your choice. And of course, because last time you did my other card. No, that was you gave Alexander one. I'm Alexander. So no, actually.
Who's your homework now? Oh, it's all in here.
Okay, there we go. It's going, was it